Hello and welcome to Regrow Tech India. I'm your host, Drynaya, bringing to you yet another episode on the Java Beginners Interview Series. So, in today's episode, we are going to discuss yet another pattern, which is quite an interesting one and quite an extension from all the kinds of patterns that we have been doing so far. Now, we have been focusing on two major things. One is what is the shape of the pattern that we are getting. It's typically either a top bottom, so it starts small but it gets bigger. That is the kind of pattern, and then there is the one that is it is actually bigger, and then it gets a little smaller, which is like top bottom, right? So we have been focusing on the logic for those kinds of triangle shapes, and we have been discussing that quite often. Other than that, we have also discussed about what values are to be printed, right? So this particular program that you will see that the triangle's shape is pretty familiar to all of us. The only difference is that we'll have to understand as to how the values are getting printed. Now, one more thing that I would like to also, insert here is that the idea is to reuse the values that we already have. For instance, we already have the values of variable n, which will be the number of terms or number of lines. We will also be having the variable I, the loops I value, right? And then we will also be having the value of the j loop, right? And if we are able to reuse that, it would be for the better, right? If of course there is no other go, then we will be using some other variables, but the first option should remain that we are going to use the variables that we already have. So we will try to understand the logic and then try printing the pattern. Let's get on the board and see what I'm talking about. So here's an interesting pattern, and what we have gotten is that we have 1 0 1 0 1 0, like so basically 1 0 1 0. If you see, look at this, typically this is the 1 place, this is the 2 place, this is the 3 place, this is the 4 place. Okay, again 1 2 3 1 2 and 1. If you look at the pattern here, so for all the odd numbers we have 1, and for all the even numbers we have 0. For example, 2 is an even number, we have 0 instead. 2 is an even number, 0. Similarly, 4 is an even number, 0 is there, right? So if we can actually think of a pattern accordingly, then it will be much easier. So if 1 2 3 4, let's say j value will take 1 2 3 4 for the first time, it will be 1 2 3 for the second time, it will be 1 2 for the third, and just 1 for the fourth. Meaning it is supposed to be running in decreasing order, meaning it should go from 4 3 to 1, and that will happen only if I is going the descending order 4 3 2 1, right? So when I will be 4, j loop will run from 1 till 4. When I is 3, the j loop will run from 1 till 3. When I is 2, the j loop will run from 1 till 2. And when I is 1, the j loop will run from 1 to 1. Right? Meaning the I loop here is supposed to go from 4 to 1 in descending order. Sorry, yes, the descending order, and the j loop is supposed to go from 1 till whatever is the I value at any point in time in ascending order. And if we do that, we will be able to get the values. Now here we have written 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 1, 0, 1, 0. So basically these are j values, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 1. And if the j value is odd, then the number we are getting is 1. If the j value is even, then the number that we are supposed to be getting is 0. Right? And that will be the logic for the numbers. Now let's go ahead and write the code accordingly. So what I've already done is that I have created a function, the main method, where we can start writing the code. So here int I will be equals to 4. So int, I'm sorry, not I, because I generally take I for loops. So I'm going to take n instead, and I'm going to say it is 4. Then I'll say for int I equals 1, I wanted to go ulta, right? So I equals n, I greater than equals 1, and then I minus minus. After that, we will run a J loop that will go from 1 till I. So for int J equals to 1, J less than equals to I, and then J plus plus. Lastly, we said, as for now, let's see what happens if we print the J value. And I'm not going to print it in a new line. So system.out.print only. And I want to print J here. And after one line of J is printed, I also want to print a new line. So let us go ahead and run this. And this is what we are getting: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1. And if you have seen my previous videos, wherein we have, printed 1 for odd and 0 for even, you have seen that I have not used any sort of if conditional statements. What I simply did was I did J mod 2. So in this case, what happens when J is 1, I will be, when J is 1, J mod 2 would be 1 divided by 1, divided by 2, the remainder would be 1. Similarly, when 2 is divided, the remainder will remain 0. So every time an even number is divided by 2, the remainder is 0. And every time an odd number is divided, the remainder is 1. And that will change the entire game. So let us go ahead and save this and run. There we go. So we have 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1. This was the pattern we wanted. Now let's go ahead and see the dry run of the program so that we understand it completely. And where is the whiteboard? Oh, yes. Okie dokie. So let me just increase the size, much better. So we'll start with this one, right? The int n is equals to 4. So let's write int n is equals to 4. Next will come is the I loop, of course. I is equals to n. So it will start with n. N is 4. So it will start with 4. I is greater than equals to 1. So right now I is 4. Of course it is greater than 1. It will not go to the step interval. It will directly check the condition and go inside. We already know that. And inside it has a J loop. So it will encounter J, and we have J starts by 1. So we have J starts by 1. J is less than equals to I. So J is 1, I is 4. 1 is less than equals to 4. Condition is true, meaning it will go inside the loop also. And it will print system.out.print J mod 2. So in the output, what we will have is J mod 2. 1 mod 2, the remainder when 1 is divided by 2 is 1. Okay. Then it will do J plus plus, of course, once the condition is checked and it goes inside. And once the execution of the curly bracket is completed, we also go back to check the step interval, right? So right now step interval is J plus plus. So J was 1, now it will become 2. It will check the condition, and the condition is J less than equals to I. So J is 2, I is 4, and it is less than, so meaning we are happy. So it will go inside, and again it will print J mod 2. Right now J is 2, 2 mod 2, the remainder will be 0. 0 will be printed. After that again J plus plus is supposed to happen, so J will become 3. The condition will be checked, J less than equals to I. So J is 3, I is 4, it is less, meaning the condition is true. It will go inside, it will print J mod 2. So now 3 mod 2 will give you 1. Okay, now once that has happened, again it will do J plus plus, 3 will become 4, it will check the condition, J less than equals to I, J is 4, I is 4, they are equal, condition is true, it will go inside, print J mod 2, again J is 4, 4 mod 2, it is an even number, meaning the remainder will be 0, right? Now once that is sorted, again J plus plus is supposed to happen, J plus plus will make the J as 5, but the thing it will be that J less than equals to I will be not satisfied, because J is 5 and I is 4. J is greater, not less. So condition becomes false. So it will fall through this J loop, and then it will get to the next line. and it will print a new line system.out.println. We are happy, the blinker will come here. Okay, now once that has happened, it will also reach the curly bracket, which is the curly bracket for the previous for loop, the I1. So of course it will go back to the step interval for I, and it will do I minus minus. So 4 minus 1 is 3, right? Now again it will check the condition the same way, I is greater than equals to 1. So right now I is 3, it is most certainly greater than 1, we are happy. So it will go inside, again it will go, the j will be supposed to run from 1 till 3, right? We have seen when I was 4, it ran from 1 till 4, and at 5 the condition was dissatisfied. Similarly, right now when I is 3, the j will run from 1 to 3, and at 4 the condition will be not satisfied. So when I is 1, then when j is 1, j mod 2 would be 1. When j is 2, j mod 2 would be 0. When j is 3, j mod 2 would be 1. So for each numbers we will get something like this. At 4 the condition will be dissatisfied, and it will print a new line. So the blinker will come here, and then it will reach the end of the for loop of I. So again it will go back, it will change the value of I. So 3 will become 2 now. It will check the condition again, and it will run for 2 times, where we will get 1 0, and after that I is supposed to become 1, and then we will just get 1, because j will run from 1 to 1, and we know j mod 2, 1 mod 2 is going to give you 1, right? And that's the basic of this particular program. I hope you have understood it. It's actually quite simple. All you needed to do is take a good look at the pattern and see how does it actually look like, right? And then also think about what kind of approach you have, or what kind of approach do you want. We have already discussed that in this kind of triangle, we will see that the I loop goes from n to I, 1 instead of 1 to n, right? So that was the approach that we already used. Other than that, we used it for getting the values of j as well, right? What will be the length of j each time. So that's basically the concept that we have used here. I hope you understood this program. And if you have, I would love for you to click on the like button and subscribe. Have a great day ahead.